song we're about to dive into because it's performed by somebody who can't have a traditional singing career. Ironmouse has a chronic illness, and it doesn't allow her to do things like go touring. However, because of the internet, she's been able to kick off an awesome career as a VTuber. And this is going to be the first time that I hear her sing. Let's get to it.
This is my first time ever watching. I don't watch React channels, so I've never seen the Charismatic voice.
Then one day, when every melody had been played, through your voice,
My setup is way worse. I'll say that much.
Whoa. So much just happened. We're gonna go back and tackle this from the beginning. Number one impression was her voice sits way higher than I expected. I was expecting that we'd have like a combination of operatic instruments, because I heard that this was opera-ish. I think they even call this an opera song. But usually when people say that and they have animated things, they mean that there's symphonic instruments and a pop voice. Sorry, guys.
Or opera.
She actually sounds like a coloratura soprano, and even like brings it to be like more thin in areas while having those operatic elements. The entire structure of the beginning also, it was almost like a shortened song cycle kind of form where we went in through journeys, but rather quickly devolving into the actual singing. Back to the beginning.
I want to show everyone an older singer. So this is something that like Charismatic Voice like touched on, but I actually have an example of an older singer that is a mezzo, but sings in a style with a technique that is reminiscent of what you would generally hear from this era that Starlight Darrell kind of was trying to pay an homage to, and I think it's worth listening to. So this is a mezzo, and listen to the technique. You hear the quality of the vibrato, right? The super high larynx. This is a mezzo. The aesthetic that was aspired for was to sound like a bird, if that gives you any kind of idea of what the goal was of the performance practice of this time period. And I'll be having, we're going to try to get Professor Lawrence Indick on to discuss this more, but this is something that is not, a lot of opera singers are not going to know about if they haven't really gone digging to the older recordings. So I'm excited to see if Charismatic Voice kind of elaborates on this.
I love that you have the actual music box in this. Good.
I thought it was a glockenspiel at first.
Side note, there's this really cool kit that you can get. Buy it for teenagers or for yourself. You can get these strips and like the music box insert, and you can make your own music box songs. I know because, gosh, maybe 8 or 9 years ago, I think, I got a whole bunch of these and I composed songs and gave them to family members for Christmas. It was really cool. So I encourage you, make a music box song for yourself, your family, or hand it to a friend as a fun, crafty project. Reminds me of Sword Art Online.
Can't say I've watched Sword Art Online.
I love the woodwinds there. Okay, so we had this sort of woodwind and sort of spiraling down.
Yeah, give props to the woodwinds. Listen, Daryl cooked, and so do Yam. The woodwinds are dope. I'm glad she knows. Because like that's something, yeah. Good for you. Okay.
Of the song, and then all of a sudden we start this section. This feels more like Carmen. There's a certain Spanish boldness to it, and especially in the bass string. It has a dance, and not
Yeah,
just
the P8
any
solo
kind of dance. There's
kind of
Latin roots
waltz.
in this dance. A certain bold. I almost want to say bolero. Might be wrong.
Yeah, solo is probably the more accurate reference, but I only know that because I spoke to Yam. Otherwise, I wouldn't know.
Also feels like something from Final Fantasy.
Endless nights, through every nightmare alone and afraid.
She really, it almost has like almost a mousy kind of quality. It's very light. Coloratura soprano has the highest sitting voice. And it's the same kind of soprano that sings Queen of the Night, but that's considered a dramatic coloratura. When you have a super light,
This is where Fach is. We're going to have
There's
disagreements
another
on
kind of
Fach, as
coloratura.
everybody has disagreements on Fach because it's the F word. It's I would not call the Queen of the Night dramatic coloratura. I would reserve that for like Lady Macbeth, but that's splitting hairs to the point of absurdity. But yeah,
called a lyric coloratura. That's going to be somebody who sings the doll aria or
Yes.
the bell song, if you're familiar
Okay,
with those. She
yes.
feels to me more like a lyric coloratura.
yeah, we both. I would love to hear Mouse in a Doll aria. We both said the same thing. Still,
And that's from her timbre, you guys. That's not because she's singing high here. See, that's very low actually for a coloratura, but it's very, very light.
One day, when every melody had been played,
A lot of forward resonance that gets a tiny bit poppy.
my world was born.
She absolutely sounds like she's had opera training because of the way she sings found. It's modified,
Yep,
where so there's a
covered.
little more roundness in the mouth.
World was born.
Found rather than found.
she's making a lot of the same observations that I did, which just makes me feel pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? You know, like maybe I'll start wearing sunglasses indoors or something. I don't know.
When love conquered hate, now hate consumes again.
I did not pick up on the waltz thing initially, though.
You went to heaven back, my friend. Now tirelessly I'll fight till I see your face again.
I like the storytelling in this. I want to point out, this is so funny. There's so much opera in this, you all. Gosh, this
The
is
vowel
a
for
great
sopranos.
lesson in vowel modification. There are reasons in formants and vocal tract positioning, essentially. There are reasons why you drop for the top, but we'll just put it as it feels a little bit easier to get the high notes out. You're able to adjust so that the sounds are actually a little bit more clear. When you go, or when a person sings above the staff, meaning this is going to be, oh, can you guys hear this? No, you can't hear this. Is that really enough? Hilarious. This is exactly where you start modifying usually.
Depends on the voice. I'm not like saying this to be like smarter or anything like that, but it again, if we're going to do this, I actually want to like add value and not just sit here on my duff and watch. So for a higher set voice, usually around F, though in some cases around E, it depends. And also there might be disagreement on this, but I would say it depends also on the piece. Because a lot of the times you modify for the sake of the phrase. So for example, if I do like "Das Bildnis ist Betaubenschön," which is maybe not a great example because that starts at a G. But if I did "Das Bildnis ist Betaubenschön," that's not like an elegant arc to the phrase. It's "Das Band," right? If I want the phrase to be more of a round aesthetic and I want it to be a journey like that and a smooth arc. Das Band Belt nisses bezaubern schön. I'm going to round it instead of just belt. I'm going to do just belt. And so that kind of that small doming of the soft palate allows me to get a bit of an arc. And some people, their voice can kind of pop a little bit on E, depends on the tune. Yeah.
She's at an F sharp, actually. Okay. So right around the top of the staff, the top of the treble clef, meaning that's going to be an F. This is an F5. So right around an F5 is where most sopranos will start modifying. That means that they drop their
it's a fair
jaw, essentially, to make sounds that would be vowels that would be closed, more open. And this helps it to be easier, and most people consider it a better sound as well.
I mean, like I said, like it's a subjective thing, better or worse than. But yeah, nothing's wrong here. I would say that there's and I imagine she knows this, and she's just like trying to kind of hold it back because it would be like an info dump. But hello, we do info dumps here. So dropping the jaw is one element of it. I would argue that when you're covering, you're also kind of doming the soft palate a little bit. So I could probably like I don't need to drop my jaw there. Chedaka is the sound. You can hear the difference when I go versus ah. So you can drop the jaw. It's not necessarily necessary to drop the jaw. But the point is vowel modifications. There's a lot of ways to do it. So just to expand on what she's saying.
So instead of singing you up there, we would sing yo. That's over modification. You basically just take whatever the vowel is, ooh, and open it up a little bit. You. So it's more of a ya, closer to ya than you.
Depends on the school of thought. So there's a lot of schools of thought on this. Like una furtiva lagrima, if we do that, like oh no. I'm modifying more towards an and an O-ish. So it yeah, there's a lot of different ways to do this. Lots of different schools of thought. So anyway.
You hear how that, like, it just mellows out the sound a little bit too?
Yeah, she's right to point out that it is more yaw in this example, yes. So correct.
I love that. I like the vulnerability in the sound there.
Yeah.
There's a sweetness.
Her willingness to get vulnerable is incredible. Also like the deep rondo.
It's just really pretty writing.
Not just an anime girl, Daryl.
Interesting modulation.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Starlight Daryl cooked.
They went back to the roots.
Oh, she's got good ears. Okay.
This woman's got opera chops. It's I did not believe it when I read a little bit about her. I thought, okay, so maybe they studied some opera, but then they've transformed it all and they're singing more of the pop style or rock metal ballads. No, legitimately the orchestration and everything, opera. It's opera. Yep. It's opera, and it's in English, and she's singing really well in English. When you study opera, most people think, oh, they're going to sing in Italian all the time. And well, we do sing in a lot of Italian. That happens. There's some very famous Italian composers, Verdi, Puccini, right? Like, we got to sing lots of Italian for them, Rossini. There's a lot of opera that's in German. Okay, some by Mozart. Mozart also wrote in Italian, but a lot by Wagner or Strauss, right? We got a lot lot of German opera for sure. We have a lot of French opera. Carmen is a great example of an opera that's in French. And even though it's set in Spain, it's like La Boheme, it's set in Paris, but it's Italian.
Yeah.
You also have a lot of opera that's sung in English, especially if you're based in the States. A lot of contemporary operas are done in English, and there's some gorgeous ones out there. If you guys are into opera, I highly recommend checking out Ricky Ian Gordon. And if you really want something that sort of shatters your experience of space and time, check out Akhenaten, the most amazing juggling combined with opera ever. That being said, she's an opera singer. She's an opera singer, and it would be extremely, extremely hard to do opera with a chronic illness. Impossible. So
Well,
this is amazing that she has a
apparently
different
not.
outlet to do operatic singing in. Everything about the way she sings, I'm
Well,
like,
I think she
no,
means
that's
obviously
opera.
live.
The vowel modification, everything, the enunciation.
We'll fight, chasing the sound. Oh, as your song rings out, eternally bound to you.
Beautiful cello moment there. One
Yeah,
of
it
the
is.
ways that I also identify it as opera, not just by the singing, but the song is composed so it sits in a high tessitura. There are very few contemporary songs that actually sit in a high tessitura. Tessitura is where
much
the
to my
majority
chagrin-
of pitches sit. And while there are lots of famous singers that are able to sing really high, there are not many famous singers that actually stay high in contemporary music.
Yeah.
Like,
This is what makes
everyone
Mozart so
thinks, oh,
hard.
Ariana Grande sings high. She can, but the majority of her music is actually really low. She does a ton of belting. It's a very, very different kind of singing. This singing is
Yeah.
not sung in chest voice or mixed as well. It's not sung. It is not belting. This is sitting quite like, gosh, a lot of times it sounds like she's singing about an octave higher than a lot of contemporary singers. And that's a very,
Yeah.
very wide, like swishy. It is all sitting high, and she's using power in her head voice. It's an entirely different way of writing for the voice. Specifically, she's writing for a real coloratura soprano that's not attempting to conform to a contemporary blueprint.
Which I appreciated, Daryl. Thank you for that. Mozart knew a thing or two.
Full gathering as she came down there.
I'd need to know
is
more
that
about
the
what she means by
inn? No.
gathering. No, sorry. The outrage. You're going to end this on me? I have not had enough! Girl, same.
I go to hell and back again. Heaven and earth like moon and
I haven't had enough of this song since I heard it. Crazy.
every single sin I repent, but it's too late to pretend.
I'm gonna check out some notes.
It's a high C.
Woof!
It's nuts.
Lady's sitting high.
It's
Sitting high.
too
So that
late.
is a B.
Was it a B? I
A
thought it
B
was a C.
natural. That's let's see, a B5.
Oh, still
If you like
ridiculously
to
high.
talk about numbers and notes, just a half step under what we call a high C in opera. She connected that really nicely to the bottom note in the entire phrase. And
It is preposterously difficult, by the way, to just like pop up there like it's no big deal in the midst of a phrase. That's not common.
there are times when the voice actually comes quite far forward. Be too far forward tilting in some operatic settings, but because she's on a mic, I actually think that was a really, really good adjustment and decision. And ultimately, like her career, she's bringing an operatic voice into a non-operatic setting. So I want her to make adjustments. A couple adjustments will need to be not spitting content.
And again, this is for modern performance practice. This is true. What she's saying. I don't think people would have been as against it back in the day. But this is why I want to talk to Professor Indick about performance practice in the 1910s through the 1930s.
consonants out like they need to fly over an orchestra to the audience in the back of the hall. Please don't spit those out at a microphone. You have major issues. Consonants for opera were not designed for microphones. Another thing is you can bring the voice a little bit further forward to get a tiny bit more clarity if you're singing in a studio rather than singing for an operatic stage. There is a certain obsession, especially in recent years. I think maybe it's trending back the other direction now, but for quite a while there, we were having this obsession with sort of like darker operatic voices.
Yep.
So even colored
Drove me
tours were wanting
nuts.
a darker timbre. In
Drove
some
me
cases.
nuts.
Almost felt manufactured at
Yep.
times. Man, this is commentary on
Preach.
opera trends like none other. My goodness, I'm so sorry. If you're really not into opera, too bad. I get
Too
it.
bad.
But anyway,
That's right. Tell them.
she's bringing her voice a lot more forward than some of the trends that existed a decade ago.
Yeah.
And that can be really, really helpful. It's going to narrow the sound a little bit more, work into a recording environment, I think, a lot better than on an operatic stage. Even though she still has that grandeur and that dramatic essence in her voice that really makes it opera.
I would say that it's tough to say whether or not it's better or worse in a recording environment because recording environments are in general not actually very kind to opera vocals. There is a lot of the quality that's missed. So, and again, I'm not actually disagreeing with her here. I'm just kind of like adding that it's there's more to like listen. You know, people train for decades to sing this music. There's a lot to talk about, right? And there are the implications and all that stuff. Like, there's a reason why there's a lot of excitement around this piece of music. Anyway.
That's a great example of vowel modification too. That it's too late to pretend. That it's is a little closed when it comes to vowel shape, right? The mouth is literally more closed. She's pretty much singing that oughts. She's almost at an ah vowel there. Hats, too late. I love how her voice essentially fits into this character. It works so well. Okay, look here. Let's take that away.
Nothing else can sway my heart
I love that vowel.
from the start.
Not all vowels are created equal in terms of getting resonance. This heart vowel, where she's on heart,
Take
is
that
just,
away.
it's gorgeous sounding.
Nothing else can sway my heart
Yeah.
from the
That's gorgeous.
start. You shone brighter than heaven's star. Even far apart, nothing will sway my heart.
Yeah, I had the same reaction.
Write yourself a huge leap that really works with the lyrics.
It's good word painting from Riku. Sway my heart. Yeah.
I actually really like SW. Sway. W's have an ooh.
I have a hard time with this one.
Sway. I learned this because I studied English diction and did English opera. Specifically, Shelby Rhodes coaching me on English in the street scene was really, really helpful for defining
Oh, she's a
how
street scene.
to sing English properly. I know
Street
that sounds
scene's dope.
crazy, but
They're vile.
I had a semester of English diction for singing, a semester of Italian diction, a semester of German, and a semester of
Yep.
French. And I had separate studies for Czech and Russian and Spanish. You have no idea how much study singers actually give to diction in classical singing.
Yep.
She has a wonderful way of bringing all of that diction into play. It's really
I will say the sway thing. This is where knowing, this is why I was so impressed with Daryl and Riku. So that goes up to the B. Sway my arm, nothing. So for a tenor, this is actually a nightmare. Because on a B, I'm gonna open my mouth. Ideally not too high up, but like it is not easy to get to. And an oo vowel is not necessarily the most friendly for me, but it is for a coloratura, given how they train predominantly on oo vowels, depending on the school of thought, but that's usually the norm. So oo is going to be tough for me because I can't, like, it in the passaggio, I guess it helps with the doming of the palate, but like, sway my heart! Not friendly for me. And a little flat even. The ooh, ah, I have to do a really bright vowel up there for me. So like a vowel that would help me more would be like an e vowel or an eh or an ah, maybe an ah, because I wouldn't have to make so much dramatic adjustment. But yeah, that's a hard one. But definitely, probably, that's a statement. It's going to be more beneficial for a soprano. That's for sure.
I actually really like SW, sway. I know that sounds no idea how much study singers actually give to diction. Stood. So the fact that we're getting our words is just absolutely amazing.
It's off of book 2. I think I hold on to
Nice NG up there too. Getting an NG that high is also really tough, ying, because it messes with the pressure in the system. By the way, if you want to learn more about voice science and
not true me, but this has to do more with how I was trained. I had such a big problem with my tongue going too far back. So I would always go, I'm trying to think of a good phrase. My tongue was going so far back, oftentimes my teacher would, per me l'amor. So just harder for sure. She's not wrong. The reason I bring it up is because hard is relative, right? So there's a lot of things that are interesting about Mouse's approach to singing that I would love to know more about. Because there's certain things she makes look very easy. On an NG, there is no better way for me to really get like an incredibly powerful high note. That was aggressive. Because of the way that I was taught.
How this all relates, I do have a course on voice science. It's either out or coming out very soon with Dr. Amanda Stark, speech pathologist, where we talk about it from both a singing and a speech point of view. And it's really for anybody that has a voice to understand this kind of singing, to understand your own voice, et cetera, et cetera. Link in the description below. And in G, if you do that, you can feel, it really closes off part of the vocal tract. The middle part of your tongue really is closing the vocal tract off and redirecting all the sound through your nose. So the sound actually exits through your nose. That messes with the pressure of the whole system. Normally the air pressure is coming out of your mouth, right? It's a much bigger hole, usually. And now it's going through your nose. It's complicated, but ultimately, like all of these things in here are in this very, very delicate balance. And so when you're singing really high in the first place, which is difficult, and you close like that, it can be really hard to get an NG out that high. At least I have always had difficulties with NGs that high.
It makes sense that somebody would. So what she's talking about is that in order for it's called a nasal continuant. So the pharynx has to go down. So that's your soft palate is your pharynx, and it has to go down in order to let the breath go through the nose. Now, if you're someone like me who tends to sing with far too much air, using your nasal cavity like that can actually help you. It would be akin to Ingo Titz's like exercise with a straw. That back pressure can actually really help. So yeah, it depends. Also, someone brings up a really good point in my chat. Ironmouse is doing that with, I think, an apparatus in her nose for breathing, which would make this extra challenging. Yeah.
Yes, time. Great pitch.
She's going to lose her shit over the D6.
I want to speak about one other thing here. A lot of pitch
25 on the
correction
picture.
is used in contemporary music, of course. And there might be a little bit here, but I have edited vocals in so many situations. At one point, I thought that I might want to be a vocal producer. It was a little like possible side quest that I decided to shift, and then COVID happened, and I was like, oh, actually, no, this YouTube thing is really working out well. So that went well.
Good for you. Awesome.
I've edited vocals for all kinds of people, singing, speaking, etc. There's a specific software for pitch correction that I think is actually extremely good called Melodyne. Many of you have probably heard of it. I actually hate Antares Autotune, even though I know some people really like the sound imprint it leaves. A lot of pitch correction software leaves a particular imprint on the sound.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
But some people notice it, some people don't, some people want it even.
Yep.
Melodyne
Antares
tends to
sounds
leave
really good,
the
actually.
smallest amount of imprint. A vocal that has more vibrato, pitch adjustment on that really gets funky in Melodyne. It's like that is a spot where I think it starts to break down. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's
obnoxious.
possible to do a little bit on an opera singer without hearing too much lick. But normally, if I've edited an opera singer's vocal, like they just have to be on pitch. Over it, that is the kind of thing where you don't want to edit it much. And I know this actually partly because I did an entire album at one point of video games as if they were a song cycle telling the history of video games.
That's
I think it's
dope.
called
I
Song
don't know.
Cycle, the history of video games, actually released by Material Collective a long time ago. Yeah, editing vocals. I don't think that Ironmouse has edited these, certainly not much, if at all.
I have an unfair advantage here. I talked to the engineers. There is a lot of audio engineering that went into this. How much of it is pitch correction, I don't know specifically. Usually people are hesitant to discuss this because people feel like it, if it gets out, oh no, like we're delegitimizing the singer, even though like we're just correcting 1 cent of a pitch, which is crazy. But like you can work with Melodyne. It is tedious if their vibrato is off. And I only know this because I was watching Saber Cook in Discord while he was doing some interesting stuff with Melodyne. But it's not easy, and certainly very tedious. But there's a lot of Mouse had like an elite team of audio engineers, doing a lot of great stuff and a lot of great work. Mouse had an elite team with the composers, with the lyricist, with the orchestra, right? This is, I think, one of the reasons why the track is so special is there is so much love and craft put in it from basically every possible angle. So there is quite a bit of audio stuff going on. But it's more nuanced and subtle because you have a good singer, right? You don't like good audio engineering isn't about polishing a turd. Not that Charismatic voice is suggesting that. I'm just saying, like getting like a microphone colors the voice, right? A compressor colors the voice. So oftentimes what an audio engineer has a hard time doing, especially with a genre that's a bit more obscure with like opera, you're actually trying to bring back some things that end up getting lost in the signal chain. So there was a lot of post-processing done to try and really get out the qualities that exist in Mouse's voice. And they did such an amazing job. It was so respectful to the performance. It was just done with such love and attention to detail. Shout out to those guys. Just incredible work on the audio. Okay, well, I need to be corrected. Okay, I'm thinking about the community version, not this version. So yeah, minimal processing done on Mouse's voice. But again, there's still processing because of how difficult it is to record opera. It is not a medium that records well, generally speaking. So like, yeah, there's a love. Audio is a big deal to me. I love to pay respect to the people who do the work on it. So anyway, but yeah, okay, wrong. I was wrong. So I'll just own it and move on. Thank you for the correction.
Okay, we gotta figure out what note that is.
Yeah, right. I had the same reaction.
It's a high D. Also, I like that approach to it. I think Ironmouse is doing a lot of the writing here. I like the approach to your high notes. That's smart. I like how you're writing them in. I like the way you're stringing certain phrases together. So it's all is actually a really, really nice word to
Yeah,
sing
it
up
is.
there because it's essentially an ah vowel, and we love ah vowels for high notes. We love them. Ah, I'd burn it ah, and you don't even have to get really too much L out to be heard as all. And it's nice to start on a vowel. If you try and put a voiced consonant up there,
Oh,
ooh,
yeah. Brutal.
ooh, most people are not going to actually voice it like a B, if a ball. I'd burn it ball. Balls to the wall, y'all. The soprano would be more likely to sing Paul because it's really hard to do a voiced consonant that high. Instead, it's a beautiful onset on all and right on the money, plus held for a beautifully long time.
So
It's nuts.
Really beautiful tone, too.
That's what fucks me up. Let me set it on this cursor. That's what messes me up. It sounds good. I have high notes. I don't like them, right? Like, oh, I hit a high note. I checked a box. Cool. Mouse sounds stunning on her high notes. That is not common.
That is what a coloratura is supposed to do. Ultimately have clarity and be able to sing really high, be able to move the voice quickly as well, which she has a lot of agility in her voice.
Yeah.
But those high notes, those are your money notes, and they need to have a clear flute-like timbre. This note is one of the things that also distinguishes her as a lyric coloratura, I would say, rather than dramatic. Even though this has been it's had a lot of drama in the song, this note there's a flutiness, right? It's really pretty. It doesn't have edge in the sound the way a Queen of the Night. I've been around a lot of coloraturas. I've been yelled at by a lot of Queen of the Nights because I played Pamina for a very long time. This has a flutiness, a certain warmth. I would actually love to hear her sing the Bell song, the Bell aria. That would be beautiful. Lock me. One other thing to consider on this, a lot of times singers are learning and training while standing up, and she's bedridden a lot of
Yeah.
times because of her illness. And that means I'm guessing she's practiced a lot while in bed. I'm really curious actually if she's learned to use more backspace in singing. It can be advantageous to do that, but it can also mean you need to do some workarounds. I'm curious how that's affected her singing.
I'm as well.
Get it. Oh, I actually thought all was going to be the end.
Yeah, right?
Ends on a high C.
Yep. Yeah, just for flavor, right?
I
Just
wonder
why
if
not?
this is the
Casually.
direction that operatic voices should consider taking more. I know opera is struggling in today's world, and it's really sad because there are some incredible operas out there, but in
And
a lot
incredible
of cases, I
singers.
think opera is just struggling to redefine itself. The world is moving so quickly, and opera has often been very, very traditional. But there are also a lot of modern operatic movements that are just like fantastic. I think it's just trying to figure out where it belongs now. This VTuber world, this might actually be a fantastic, fantastic place for opera to migrate to. Ironmouse,
I'm in agreement, lady. Let's do it.
I'm excited that this could be a new movement for operatic singers. It's so cool. So cool. Thank you to all of you.
I've never watched the Charismatic Voice. Thank you guys for making me do this. She's a real pleasure. Definitely knowledgeable and deserving of a lot of the attention that she's been getting. Whoa, 2.2 million. Girl, get it. Get that bread. Yeah, get it. I mean, bravo. Good for her, though. That's great. No, she's very knowledgeable. This was excellent.